wash the wave.
You ready? You're listening to the Real Pineapple Podcast Network. Good afternoon, ladies, gentlemen, theys, and gays. This is the Real Pineapple. This is your kitty. This is your humble host Hunter here. Hope you're safe. I hope you're well. Happy Pride Month. Happy Juneteenth Eve. As we are celebrating that tomorrow. But guess who has to fucking work tomorrow? That's a whole other rant. This is Hunter here.
That's racist.
It feels like it, but I'm really excited to have my guest on today. I've known Jordan for a few years, and we always talk movies, we always talk film and just stuff. And yeah, I was like, God damn it, we need to have you on to talk about something. And yeah, we're gonna talk about a movie that is not an easy watch, but the times we're in is a very important watch. So, Jordan, welcome to the show. How are you?
Hello, I'm Grand, and that was my cat Link, who is a little attention slut.
I mean, aren't we all in some way? But
this is my girlfriend's office, so I am commandeering it. She's done with all that. She's out playing Ghost of Yotai.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And the door is ajar just so both cats don't fucking scratch at it or
that's I have the door open at all times when I'm recording, because as y'all can see, you see a little orange tail because Milo is in here because I just woke up from a nap.
You are not allowed up there. You know it.
Oh, Link is like, what the hell? Like, how dare? Yeah, my Milo's over here begging for pets right now.
That may or may not happen continuously.
That's completely fine. It happens with Milo. I totally understand. So, okay. So honestly, we're just doing the one review, and I'll be real, y'all. I just woke up from a nap, so because my other cat was yelling at me. It's been a bit of a chaotic morning here at Real Studios, but that's okay. That's okay. We figure it out. So, before we kind of jump into the review here, a little context from me, and Jordan, feel free to provide context as you see fit. So, given the fact we're talking about Boy Erased, I felt like it was important for me to talk about my journey a little bit in terms of my relationship with religion and my allyship, because I think they are two things that are interwoven. And I've talked about it a little bit on the podcast, but here, just for context. So this is one of my Bibles, completely fucked up, and I'm just gonna flip through it here as Milo jumps. Yeah, you're gonna see Milo. This is one of Dad's very old Bibles, so all marked and highlighted as shit as stuff comes flying out of it. I'm sorry. So. Yeah, and actually, it's funny, as Link is doing that, I'm probably going to have to do the same thing with Milo in a second, because he is eyeing my bookshelf with my Funkos.
So much, nerd paraphernalia in here, and I'm trying to make sure Link doesn't knock over any more stuff than he already has.
Yeah, that's the struggle I have with all my Funkos. I have 2 bookshelves worth, so yeah, imagine how I feel. But I've mentioned this a little bit on the show prior, but I was actually the plan when I was like 19, like 20, 21, is I was going to be a youth pastor. That was part of the plan. I was going to church regularly at that point, and I was a junior high / high school pastor at the time. And one of the
Oy.
final straws was basically I gave a sermon to these kids, and when the kids straight up asked me about premarital sex and then about having gay thoughts. And so in summary, essentially, my message to the kids was, y'all are way too young to be having sex. Do not have sex, for fuck's sake. This was at the peak of like 16 and pregnant those days.
Where I pretty much lived at that fucking school.
Yeah, there a school in Pismo Beach called Lopez, which was basically you got knocked up, you're not going to go to one of the quote regular unquote high schools, you go to Lopez now. And then in terms of being gay, I was like, there's nothing wrong with being gay. You're not going to go to hell. You won't get shy of a cannon. But at the end of the day, you need to live for yourself, and like God is going to love you regardless. And some people at the church were not fans of said message, and so yeah, and this was 2007, and I was just kind of like, cool, I'm out then. So I dipped, and I really haven't been back to church regularly since. Also, that was when I really started smoking weed, and that was helping for my mental health. And I had
totally unrelated.
Yeah. But I also was getting the "why don't you just take a pill" conversation, which is always, super fun. So all that to say, my complications with the church have been regularly talked about here on the podcast. I think religion can be an amazing thing. I have friends that are actually pastors that are gay. But I also recognize the insane slant that often comes like with this, and that people unfortunately can't leave it here. Like it's damnation or basically nothing, essentially, when it comes to the LGBTQ community. So with that said, Jordan, if you feel comfortable, if you would kind of like to piggyback off that.
I'm an open fucking book. And by the way, what qualifies me to speak during Pride Month? I'm a transgender lesbian. Also, I also went to the best film school in Arkansas. And I'm actually Arkansan. So, yeah. Which is related to this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, I grew up Catholic. So...
Oh, so you can speak to this a bit. Yeah.
I am the lone... I am the middle child as well. I'm the lone transgender lesbian middle child between my very nerdy older brother and my Trump voting youth pastor younger brother. My younger brother is trying. Like, the only reason I'm trying to, keep up, some sort of relationship, I want to be close to my nieces and nephews. So
that's fair.
Yeah. Yeah, I was also an altar child. And no, that didn't happen to me. I was an altar child where there was like a story every day or so where, some other priest touched another kid. I was practically an altar boy during the timeline that Spotlight took place in.
Yeah.
If you want a cinematic analogy to that, by the way, brilliant fucking movie.
Favorite film that year?
Yeah, I think that was 2015, right? Room was my favorite movie of that year.
That's fair.
Spotlight was in like my top 5, hands down.
Yeah.
As for my belief in real, I mean, obviously, I believed in it. I mean, I find it fascinating to grow up Catholic in the South, especially where as far south as I was. Pretty Bible Belt area. And I grew up thinking that, had Sunday school thing. I even, against my will, like, just for the sake of my grandma, who was Methodist, I went to vocational Bible school.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, during like the first part of the summer, and that's where I learned about what the fuck is this VeggieTales bullshit,
dude.
And
oh yeah,
and
VeggieTales is
yeah,
the trip.
yeah. So like I got no qualms. My birthday's next fucking Saturday. I was born like all the way back in '89, and
Thanks for making me feel old, by the way. Born in
You're
87. Appreciate it.
By the way, youngest I've been confused for since starting HRT, 19. Love that for my ego. But yeah, I grew up believing in the church, but honestly, growing up as an altar child, when all that news was coming out around late 90s, early to mid 2000s, it really created a sense of conflict in me. And also, I was, starting to really understand, like, hey, I don't really quite believe in all of this. But, I had to go because my mom helped run the Catholic church where we lived. Keeping money afloat. She was also the singer, at the church. I don't know if she's still singing. I know that she's still, like, pretty involved, there.
Mm-hmm.
So, all that fun stuff. But, I was also just thinking, like, what? And then, I learned about Magdalene houses. And how that only stopped in 92.
Yep.
And it's just like, what? Why? And, the whole Catholic stance on queer trans people. So it was just like, why the fuck should I still be here? Why should I keep believing in something that condones all this, all the while struggling with and suppressing my true self? It really was difficult for me. And then, yeah, I know, not everybody is like that, so and so, and you're not, yeah, bad apples, fuck that noise. It just wasn't resonating with me. I couldn't fathom being part of it. Just like, seeing the Rodney King riots as a kid and the beating footage, I'm just like, why the fuck would I ever trust the police? No fucking way. That changes you as a young fucking child growing up in the Deep South. No fucking way. Why would I want to believe in this organization? Why would I trust the police? Just all of that really was like very formative to me and shaping how I wanted to be. So, once I turned 18 or, graduated high school, my mom was like, you don't have to come. I was like, fucking good. Good. Because, Jesus Christ. By the way, our church just, I fell asleep on the altar. I didn't give a fuck. All right. We had a priest come over from Nigeria who was like our priest for a long time, and he would just drone the fuck on. And it's like Sunday morning around 10 a.m. I don't want to be here.
You're already tired.
I want to watch the fucking movie I rented, or the video game I rented, or play the video game I rented for the weekend before I gotta go back to school and figure out all that bullshit. I just don't want to be here.
Yeah.
And so, like, for the longest time, I just became atheist. But, I around 2019, I finally accepted myself. 2020, I started hormones. And yeah, I started HRT during the pandemic. That was awesome.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you did.
Yeah. And I know the date, not just because, it's the date I finally started living, also in true lesbian fashion. It's like one day after my ex-girlfriend's birthday.
Oh,
The
that's
only
fun.
serious relationship I had before coming out was with a bi girl who did kind of lament, like, she liked me, but she wishes I was a girl. So
Funny how that works.
yeah, hey, good news, you were dating a girl the whole time.
Boom.
And that relationship also helped like bring up some old feelings, because like her mom was like old time Southern fucking Baptist and just the biggest bitch around. I fucking hate, honestly, at points, knowing what we now I know about certain mother-in-laws, it's like I'm kind of glad we're not together anymore.
Fair.
Yeah. And like, no joke, when me and Lauren, my now partner, went and saw Dogma last June when it was re-released in theaters.
I was gonna bring that up.
That is the best Kevin Smith. But B, it also reawakened, like, over the past few years, I recognize, like, look, religion can be a good thing.
Absolutely.
And I do recognize that. Like I said, my younger brother's a fucking youth pastor. So, and me and him have never really quite gotten along. I mean, there are times, what like there are with siblings.
Yeah.
So like I said, it's been interesting. Like I said, I've still been thinking about my stance on religion ever since that screening of Dogma last summer. So I think like right now I'm at best agnostic.
Fair.
Yeah, cause like, hey, okay, I do truly believe in aliens, and
Same.
because I do truly believe like life is out there beyond this world. I'm by the way, you're not gonna see me fucking just with little green men paraphernalia everywhere. I mean, the most space shit you're gonna find me in is Star Trek shirt.
Yeah, you're a bit of a Trekkie. Yeah,
Yes, I am majorly.
Yeah.
Still not over Lower Decks.
That's fair. I still need to watch.
But yeah, I recognize religion actually helps people, and that some horrible people use it to justify their own horribleness, their ugliness, and just their hatred. So, I'm not throwing the baby out with the bathwater. Jesus Christ, that was really southern of me.
I was literally about to say, I'm like, girl, you could have not have sounded any more southern. Like, that was, woo!
But, okay, by the way, here's one southern stereotype I'll live up to. If you hand me unsweet tea, that is an attempt on my life to poison me. It just is. But yeah, so that's like kind of where I stand on religion, because even as a child, I just thought like, what? Again, like I saw the Rodney King stuff, and I actually saw in the heat of the night TV show on reruns on WGN before I ever saw that brilliant fucking movie, and even caught glimpses of like All in the Family reruns.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, why the fuck would you hate someone just because that? and all that, and hearing, I've blocked out like a lot of the sermons, probably because I was asleep through part of them. But I don't ever recall the church I go into preaching any bigoted thing towards the queer community. But again, I knew what the Catholic Church's stance was, because it's whether you're actively Catholic, former lapsed Catholic, whatever. You know what that is. The most Catholic I get nowadays is pretty much whenever I watch or read Daredevil. That's it. That is completely it.
That's your church. Yeah.
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah, I worship at the altar of Matthew Manhorn Murdoch. Full canon legal name, by the way.
Fair. I will say for myself, I blame Canada for this. Shout out to Bradley. I'm
Sure,
the
blame
most I'm the most Christian atheist at this point, because I'm just at that I'm at that point, y'all, where if someone tells me oh, I'm a Christian, my first question is, wait, what kind of Christian are you? Are you kind of the more Ron Swanson, myself, leaning I don't really fucking care what you do in your own, as long as you're happy, you're not actively prosecuting or being shitty to anyone else? Or are you Trump is totally a Christian even though he wants to fuck his own daughter? That sort of Christian. And I'm gonna be real, y'all. I don't have the energy to sort through people like that.
Neither do I. I'm not gonna lie. Being a fucking trans woman in the South, I'm gonna be fucking real with you. That plus the 1 year I just did working in childcare, I am amazed I've held on to my sobriety. I am honestly amazed I haven't traded in this seltzer for a couple fingers of scotch that I used to indulge in.
Which, congratulations, by the way, on maintaining your sobriety, by the way.
Thank you. I'm barely hanging on.
It's right now, it's a lot. World right now is a lot. Basically, if you're not a straight white male, it's a lot right now. And even if you are a straight white male and you have any sort of empathy, you understand the world is a lot right now. And in conversion therapy has been something that I have actively talked about on the podcast, how fucking stupid it is. There's a reason why my backdrop has abortion rights are human rights, and all of my my wokeness, quote unquote, paraphernalia. But I would be sorry, my phone was randomly going off there. I will simply say, getting into this movie, I was exhausted because I watched this right after therapy, which is probably not a great decision.
No, it's not.
But a good one, but a necessary one. So the movie here itself, it's I completely fucking forgot it's directed by Joel Edgerton, who
written and directed.
Yeah,
Joel Edgerton.
Which he also went ahead and directed The Gift, which I highly recommend y'all check out.
Oh yeah, that movie. I feel like that movie has not gotten the flowers it deserves anymore.
I agree.
For some reason, it's just this is a really good fucking movie. I mean, it's I know these two can. I know Jason Bateman, Joel Edgerton can act, but it's I had no idea Joel Edgerton could slay it behind the camera. All right.
Yeah. So okay. So kind of getting into this, I knew what I was getting into in terms of I have seen this a couple times.
This is my first viewing.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, damn. Okay.
Which is why something I'll bring up later also came as a bit of a shock to me.
So one thing I will say is, in terms of my experience going through church with the LGBTQ community, I still remember this when I would have been 15. This girl this girl Anna. I still remember Anna. I was at my pastor's house, and for youth, like, because there was like a Monday Bible study, Thursday was a youth group, and then Sunday was like
Service.
main church. Yeah, it was service. And so I was over there on Monday night, and I still remember there was someone in the group. I'm still friends with them, so I'm not gonna, out them. But friend of mine who was definitely kind of on that line of like, I think I'm bi, but I'm not really sure. And Anna, from nowhere, I can't remember the context, but I still remember she said that she thought gay people were demon possessed. And I remember 15-year-old me, and this is maybe 8 months after my dad had passed. So like I'm at, and I'm going through I'm going through puberty. So this is like peak me, like, oh God, emotions, oh God. And I remember hearing her say it, and my brain just kind of almost like, I don't even know what you'd call it. Like there's just a glitch in the matrix. My brain just like shut down for like 5 minutes. And I remember going outside. I remember talking to said person. And I remember that being one of the first times, like a very pointed attack registering with me in a church setting, and going,
yeah,
okay, what the fuck? And having to talk to my mom about it, and being like, Mom, like, what the, like, no one said anything, and the pastor didn't say anything. I'm like, what the fuck are we doing here? And really having this, pun intended, come to Jesus moment, where I really had to go like, okay, I need to be more aware that this shit occurs. And I think kids, I'm gonna sound so, oh God, I already sound old saying this. I think that there's more sense of community. Ironically, I was in the early days of MySpace and stuff like that.
yeah.
But with social media, you have people who are able to like share their stories and information in a way that when I was growing up, it just wasn't nearly as much of a thing. I don't think it's talked about enough how gross churches can be, because I think we are so,
yeah, absolutely can be.
And this is one of those movies that as you watch it and more, as it goes on, I think there will be a temptation from some to kind of brush it off as like film sensationalism. And I will simply tell you that I've been to enough churches, I've talked to enough people, I've been doing this podcast long enough that I've talked, like, I've had many queer people on the show, and reviewed queer cinema in a way where it's like, I'm fucking blanking on the name of the documentary, and I shouldn't. Our dad Danielle, I believe what it was called, but this incredible trans woman down in Texas who was a lawyer talked about how they lost 85% of their clients because they came out as a trans woman. And, I had them on, and that's one of my favorite interviews still to this day. But it's like just something like that, going, I'm going to live my life the way I deserve to. And nothing changed at all. But just that little thing for people to go, nope, fuck that. Like, this means you're a bad lawyer now. Like, I think that alone should bring up the fact that, y'all, this is a fucking issue, and it's something you need to be aware of.
It is.
Yeah.
I will say I'm lucky that I haven't been in any sort of conversion camp or forced, re-education situation, but the fact is it's very goddamn real for some.
Yes, it
and
is.
I've never fucking trivialized it. And I knew going into this movie this was going to be a hard fucking watch, but I've always accepted that. Like, I saw fucking Goodfellas and Casino when I was like very fucking young. By the way, it's also why I'm never gonna be fucking gambling.
Fair.
And I mean, I turned out fine.
Yeah, sure.
I tell myself every night.
Right there with you. Right there
But
with you.
yeah, it's been horrendous. And so I'll circle back to that other thing I found out during this movie is that me and Lauren are part of an organization called True Colors. That's part of like the LGBTQIA plus network here in Hot Springs, Arkansas, where we live. This organization is more focused on, trans people, given some prior fuckery within that organization, and like it's helped led by by the man that Victor Sykes in this movie is based on.
Okay.
I'm not gonna name his name. It's probably public and for fucking Mason out there, but I'm just gonna say
That's fair.
it was fucking weird to look up the notes and be like, oh, based on that's my friend.
That's so crazy.
And like like every month or so at the meeting, which is hosted by him and his husband. Like, someone in the group will get up and share their story. I've shared mine before. Lauren has. And recently he shared his story about, being involved in conversion therapy and his immense regret in that. And he's also working on his own project about his time in there. It's called Converted. They're like fundraising right now. So
hell yeah.
So just look it up on Instagram. I will just say is that much because that's not my story to tell. That is my friend's story. But I even let him know. I was like, hey, I'm reviewing this movie.
Yeah.
And and he what he said was, it's certainly not the best representation of his life, as it's made from someone else's experience and filtered through like a painful life of rejection. He's supportive of the film because while it doesn't reflect the true nature of the ministry he led, it does reflect truthful experiences from others' life experiences, which and like when he shared his story, going through that, even finding out like, oh, he's written books about this, and I didn't put the thoughts together because again, this was my very first viewing of Boy Erased, and so that took me a good 20 minutes to like let that sink in before I continued with the movie.
Fair.
But so I recognize, like, I've known about his past, but I only know him as I know him now, as like a loving dad and husband and someone who is very willing to get the shirt off his own back to help anybody in the queer community. So
that's good. That's evolution, that's
it is. And like I admit I had some homophobic thoughts myself. Again, I repressed like a lot of shit about myself for so goddamn long, but it's like it was only fun. It's like eternally I knew there's something wrong with being gay, there's something wrong with being trans, even though I didn't quite understand that at the time, because when people fought trans people, then they fought, oh hey, Ace Ventura, The Crying Game, Silence of the Lambs, only one of those movies I will ever watch again. And hint, it's the one with the cannibal.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm assuming it's Silence of the Lambs.
Look, I'll just say I understand why Crying Game's going into the Criterion Collection next month. I don't fucking like it though.
Yeah,
Um,
that's
and
completely
I'm
fair.
never watching Ace Ventura again. I'll watch When Nature Calls over that first one.
I will say to dive in here. Lucas Hedges, who plays Jared, who is the titular boy erased. You know them from
Yeah.
3 Billboards,
Mhm.
Manchester by the Sea, which I didn't like when it came out, like it even less now.
And two of my favorite performances of his in Moonrise Kingdom.
Yep.
And Greta Gerwig's Lady Bird.
Yeah, which they are fantastic in that.
Oh,
So they play Jared, and their dad Henry, played by everyone's favorite unhinged person, Russell Crowe, and his fine ass mom, played by Nicole Kidman, who can still get it. Who play Henry and Nancy Eamons respectively. They go ahead and they have to deal with this situation where something occurs, and their son, they basically ask their son, like, are you gay? He says, like, basically, I'm having these thoughts. And so it's really not even a conversation. It's one of those conversations that's like more like, we've already made the decision and we're just going to frame this like this is a back and forth, like, you're going to fucking conversion therapy, fuck you, basically. And what I really honestly love about that scene is that there are these couple moments where they cut to Nicole Kidman's Nancy, and you can just see on her face that there's been shit like this before, not involving Jared, obviously, but that she's had her decisions made for her quite often in their marriage, and that ties, unfortunately, into a lot of aspects of the Bible where, it's like, you obey your husband, which people often use for for sexism, and why there shouldn't be women leading churches, which is something that just came out in a couple states, but that's a whole other rabbit hole. I don't want to go there.
Hey, Gen Z, you're supposed to learn how not to do this, by the way.
Correct. Yeah. This is not. Yeah.
Speaking from a fucking elder millennial, I'm just saying. Okay, I say elder. I'm turning 30 fucking 7. But
I was like, you're fine. But what I really dug about this is that it goes over shame in terms of being who you are. It goes over the fact that there's institutionalized expectations put on by the church, and I do find that often can depend on the church. Myself, I have gone to churches where it's it's like in the fucking mission statement that we are all welcoming, like you can be who you are with your partners, like we don't, like, one of my friends who's a pastor at a church here in town, that's literally part of their mission statement. The problem is when you have to put something like that in your mission statement and other churches aren't, that's where you realize that there's a fucking issue, and and that should be your giant fucking red flag there. Or rainbow flag, if you will, and I will. I will say, in terms of this movie, I think the shame aspect is very well handled, especially in terms of Jared, because Jared is 18 at the time, but it's one of those things where it's like, you don't know anything when you're 18. Like, you're dumb when you're 18. I was dumb as shit when I was 18. I was
not the smartest.
I barely knew how to tie my shoes. What are we talking about? Like being 18 is fucking rough. And that's when you're starting college usually, or you're starting a trade school, or maybe you're taking a year to try to figure it out. So that's, you're just trying to learn how to fucking live, let alone know who you are. And you have multiple voices of prominence in your life saying even the thoughts that you're having are wrong. So how do you even deal with that shame aspect? How do you deal with actually having that evolution of knowing who you are and who you want to be and what journey you want to go through? And that is admittedly that's admittedly fucked up by Victor, as you mentioned, played by Joel Edgerton, who as someone who watched Train Dreams is awesome, and he did not get nearly enough props for that. You also check out Warrior and the King if you haven't as
Okay,
well.
I was about to say I haven't seen Train Dreams yet, but I am
Train Dreams is great.
No, I will see it soon enough. I was gonna bang the drum of Warrior as well, because that
Warrior's
movie
great.
fucking rules.
Yeah, Warrior is fucking fantastic. I will say, watching this gave me Far Cry 5 vibes at a point. like that's honestly in my brain, and this again, that's the nerd like looking to connect it. But though it's so cultish when you see how the conversion therapy is going, like they have an anger chair, which I'm not gonna lie, I was like, wow, really? Like,
yeah, some places are like that, and I can attest to like the growing up shameful thing, because again, even I had that, like, I shouldn't be like this. I didn't understand why I was upset at myself for feeling like the way I do, because it's like, no, I should be a girl, and I still like girls. But again, growing up Catholic in the Deep South is a hell of a drug. It is, it is fucking wild.
Yeah, I would imagine. I'm just looking through my notes here. The fact it's called Love in Action, I won't lie, was something that I just went,
ugh, God,
the irony in that.
That made me roll my goddamn eyes.
Yeah, it's very
what the fuck? The only thing more unbelievable was that fucking Lucas Hedges and fucking Twink Troye Sivan weren't just pounding each other out. I'm just putting that out there.
I mean, I don't know. So okay, I'm really happy you kind of said that, because for as much as they're saying like being gay is bad, there are so many policies here that I'm like, this is gayer than anything that these kids are like. The fact that you have to have someone in the bathroom with you, I'm like, all right,
I mean, hey, I like the Red Hot Chili Peppers. I don't want to see Flea. I don't want to have Flea watching me take a piss.
Yeah, like it's a very, like, by the way, Flea is a very underrated actor, by the way.
He really is.
Yeah, I want to give him his props, but Flea's role in this movie in particular is he drops the F word, which you know, to my fellow cis people, don't say that word. I
can say it, y'all can't.
The gays can say it. That's like the gays N word, like they can say it, you cannot. But
I can also say dyke.
There you go. Yeah, you can't say that too. There's a moment where he says it, and the vitriol in which he says it is is so gross. And like I forgot about that scene, and when he said it, I was like, oh yeah, like that. And it's one
that also just shows how good an actor he is, because it's like, I know Flea wouldn't ever say that. That's how good an actor he is. It's just like, I fucking hate you.
Yeah, that's kind of like in The Longest Yard when Stone Cold drops the hard
R.
Oh, God. I was like, no, come on. I was like, Steve, what are you doing? like, I'm pretty sure he wouldn't say it now. I mean, maybe 96 Austin would, but I don't think 2026 Austin would. Like, I'm giving you.
No, he wouldn't, because his solid ass cats would scratch the shit out of his bald head.
Yeah, exactly. There's a couple lines of dialogue here. Like my notes are all over the place, but one of the lines here, I'm using one of the kids is giving testimony, and they're saying, I'm using sexual sin and homosexuality to fill a God-shaped hole in my life, which again, gayer than anything that they're thinking. Like that's just like, that's such an inherently like gay,
it is.
Yeah, there's so many moments like that where you're like, really, you don't hear how this sounds, and you're telling these kids that, you know.
I mean, how does this movie get any gayer? Nicole Kidman's the mom. Okay, that's pretty fucking gay to me too.
So one thing about this movie too that I found very on brand in terms of organized religion and churches in general. Churches are very gossipy, as most clubs are.
Oh my god!
Most churches are very gossipy, and I
grew up in a small town.
So you know.
I grew up in basically a Friday Night Lights town. But Jesus fucking Christ. By the way, that's why like I loved season 1 of Superman and Lois so much, is because when that town fucking turned on Kyle, it's like, oh yeah, how's it fucking feel? That's pretty fucking accurate. We will all shun him.
By the way, check out Superman Lois if you're a Superman fan. You haven't. It's a great fucking show.
I do still need to see the final season.
Okay, no spoilers then. I will. There is this point too where, where Victor makes a comparison. He goes, I'm a counselor and a pastor, but was I born this way? And you're like, not the same thing. Like being gay is not an occupation, you dullard. And
it's the same thing where they talk with Cameron, who is like the high school football player, and I'm just like, no, that's not how that works. That's not how that works.
I don't have here. Britton Sear, who played Cameron.
Yeah, very good.
Shout out to you, dude. You holy shit.
That anguish, that anguish he felt is the inner turmoil I had to fucking deal with. It's again, I grew up throughout the 1990s, and I just didn't have the word for transgender. I just didn't have the way to describe. Again, like when one of the biggest comedies of that fucking decade ends with one of the most transphobic fucking jokes around. It's just, it really makes you hide a little bit more. I mean,
yeah.
And like, I hadn't even seen The Crying Game yet. I mean, I saw Goodfellas when I was 3, but The Crying Game, nah, had to wait on that a little bit. So like, then I see The Crying Game, and I Stephen Ray's reaction to the reveal, which by the way, fucking using transgender people as a fucking twist, go fuck yourself if you're still doing that. I was just like, what's his deal? Okay, woman with a penis. That didn't register to me as like, oh, and I was just like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Whatever. So, I mean, it was just so fucking strange. And yeah, like I said, that turmoil, that shame Cameron felt is the same type, and like honestly, maybe even to the same level I had. And I didn't go to a fucking conversion camp. Thank fuck I didn't, because otherwise I don't know if I'd still be alive. And it really, and like that fake funeral scene.
Yeah, so we can get into that.
It's like, okay, by the way, I know that scene is like completely made up for the movie. Because like I haven't read the book, but I did look up like what was the differences, and like yeah, that wasn't in Conley's memoir. Garrett Conley's memoir, of which this is based on. it's like I both love and fucking hate this scene. I love
Okay.
it because it is incredibly well made. The framing, the cinematography, and the performances in it are all fantastic. It's wonderful,
Yeah.
but it also pissed me the fuck off because
Yeah.
it's child abuse. It is
Yeah.
somehow legally mandated child abuse.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah. The thing is though, I mean, let's call it
Call
what
a
it
spade a
is. I
spade.
mean, how often has the church been, associated with child abuse and people are just moved
I will tell
or
you.
yeah, or it's played as a one-off,
Yeah.
it's been a pattern, it's been a thing. And I'm right there with you. That scene in particular, as I'm watching, I'm just like, fuck. So I mean, the abuse obviously is absolutely terrible. There is this point where they hand this little girl the Bible to get her in, and that's where I just went, oh man, because
Yeah.
that's one of those things where it's like you're teaching the next generation that
Yeah.
this is okay, and this
And
is
that's
how.
Yeah, and that's the other thing where I'm like having conflicting views on religion because so many is like it's for the children. You don't give a shit about children. You fuck you. That's your shield to act like you do, but
Yeah,
you fucking don't. It's true. Republicans give a shit about a child when it's in
Marley
the
loves
womb.
movies.
Ah,
Shout out to Marley loves movies.
hello.
Follow them, please.
Out of the womb,
But
they couldn't give less of a fuck.
oh yeah, because if you did, you would have like school lunches would be paid for, and I we could go down the list there. One of the
Yeah.
things that did jump out to me. There's this point where they have this whiteboard, and they have on the heterosexual side, which is written in blue, like a very soft color. It's marriage, family, supporting / caring, which those words being used given this context is just it's just deep level, such irony, and almost breaks the scale. So that's on the
Yeah.
left side. Also ironic on the left side of the board. So you have that, and then on the right side in a more harsh red, again, ironic. You have gay / SSA, rape, abuse, promiscuity, AIDS, and loneliness. So I just reviewed Paris's Burning with friend of the show Alex. Shout out to Alex. One of the things we talked about is how it was such a thing in the late 80s where with Reagan being president, which, thank you, asshole, hope it's hot down there. But but where it was very much seen as oh, AIDS, that's a gay problem. We don't need to worry about it. And then when it became known that the AIDS does not, unlike a lot of cis people, it does not discriminate. Anyone can get AIDS, and it's like, oh shit, now we care.
Yeah, as far as
And
AIDS concerned, anyone can get them hands.
exactly. And so that being a revelation to people going like, oh, what the fuck? It's pretty crazy when you think about that. But both sides of the board, like, okay, in terms of marriage, why do you care? Like, I could
Yeah, what the fuck?
like, why do you fucking care? And I have to point out too, Obama was against gay marriage for a minute. Like,
Yeah,
that
he
was something he had to like get educated on. So like, I know some people will watch this and it will feel heavy and it'll feel helpless. What I want part of this to be is basically say like, people can be educated, but we are in 2026. You have so many resources to educate yourself, and I guarantee you have
Yeah.
people who can help provide you some guidance. Like, you need to educate yourself. I'm still constantly trying to educate myself, just
I
in
am too.
general.
I'm
Um,
it's
but Good.
it's about evolving. I mean, for fuck's sake, I'm dating a teacher, and like even before meeting her, like I always felt like, yeah, continuous education is good. I mean, I do that partly as a writer, which also means my Google search history is questionable.
I can't imagine. Yeah.
I swear to God, it was for research. My personal FBI agent, if you are listening right now, how's the baby? It really is just fucking odd. Like you like. I know for some people, they might watch this and be like, wow, that's absurd. There's no fucking what. Yes, it is possible. Just like the first time I saw Jesus Camp, and I fucking fought. By the way, while I was still in the church, I was just like, you fucking kidding me? There's no goddamn way. Yes, there is a goddamn way that there are people this fucking nuts within it. I mean, all I gotta say for the trans community, Blair White, Caitlyn Jenner, Buck Angel, fuck y'all, is just like, what the fuck? Things like this happen. Extreme, and yeah, in 2026, good God, media literacy dead.
Yeah.
U.S. history, it's been used as toilet paper.
Yep.
And sanity. Okay, I never really had that, so that's okay. But yeah, it's just fucking insane in a lot of regards that some people can be this ignorant, but it's just like, yeah, like, look, people have died from these conversion camps, and it's just like, what would you do if you had, immense power? It's like, honestly, I'd eradicate any fucking conversion camp off the face of the fucking earth right now.
The fact that's not even the fact that the UN has like repeatedly in the last like 5-10 years has been like, this needs to be outlawed, and there are certain countries.
By the way, thanks UK for making sure I don't flee to you if I goddamn need to.
Yeah.
As cool as it would be to bump an Abigail Thorne out on the street. Not worth it.
Yeah. To rapid fire a little bit here. One thing about this, there's so many red flags just when you show up. So the fact that
taking away the phone.
Yeah, so taking away the phone, I was like,
journal.
Like, okay, that's not great, but maybe you don't want them to be distracted. But then when it's like, oh yeah, you can't journal, I went, oh, okay, so now the alarm bells are sounding. And then they up it even more by going, oh yeah, you are not to talk about therapy outside of the building. It's like, oh yeah, I was like, oh, this is just like alarm, like it is multiple alarms going on.
Doctor-patient confidentiality is one thing. That is a completely different thing.
Oh, it's a completely like no.
And I everything, like even that fucking character Michael, the one that's fucking checking him, even I'm just like, oh honey, if you're fucking straight, then I am a Republican.
So she's in this a decent amount. She doesn't have a ton of dialogue until kind of the back half, but one of the things that just haunted me is there's this point where Jared is talking to Nicole Kidman, Nancy, his mom, and they're talking about how they're going to send him this camp and everything, and the dialogue that Russell Crowe's Henry has before, your mother and I, we can't see a way that you live under this roof, which, by the way, one of the more gross terms that you can use as a parent, that if you're under my roof, don't say that shit. That is like your kid didn't ask to be here. Like don't put that on them. That's bullshit. But the whole we can't see you living under this roof and work at the dealership if you're going to fundamentally go against the grain of our beliefs and against God himself. I was like, God damn, like that's how you're going to put it to your kid?
That is not how a parent should talk to a
At
fucking
all.
child. No, like, God, that even struck me as a fucking daycare worker. Just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? Like, I joked to like some kids, like, hey, you know, when they take a toy from another kid, like, hey, we don't steal in here. Do that shit at Walmart. They won't notice.
I mean, true. Yeah.
Like, I just, yeah, it's like, you know, you don't say that shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I mean, you can steal a toy at Walmart. You can't steal diapers, apparently. But yeah, I'll talk about that next week. I will save my thoughts. But,
yeah, spoiler alert, I'm on your side about that.
Yeah. But that in particular, it's such a growth. Like, what are you supposed to say as a kid? Like, you know, it's because they go like, well, yeah, like, do you want to change? It's like, of course you're gonna say yes. Like, what fucking option do you have?
Well, yeah, and what's even grosser is the circumstances that led to that, because fucking Jared gets raped by this friend that he made.
I forgot about the bunk bed scene, and I was very.
By the way, I'm not saying you would tell if I wrote this movie, but if I did, there'd be a scene where Henry gets hit by a roll of fucking semi trucks. Because to do that to somebody, then ask for forgiveness and pray and then get ahead of it and call his parents and say you're posed as a fucking counselor. Jesus Christ, so many red flags.
There's so much gross.
You should have asked for credentials.
Yeah. It's a very, it's one of those
rough
scenes
scene to watch.
Oh yeah, no, it's made even grosser, as you mentioned, by the fact that he goes like can you pray with me? I'm like, oh yeah, so put your incredible discomfort aside so you can ease my conscience. It's like geez, like there's so much to that scene, but it's such a rough one. Like that is such a like, oh God, can we not with this? A couple other things I want to go over before we kind of wrap up. Parents, if your kid says I'm gay or any variation, I'm trans, what have you, and your first instinct isn't to hug your kid and let them know that that's okay, you don't need to be a parent. Because there is this point where, you know, as Jared is kind of laying his stuff out, that you can tell Nancy wants to hug him, but she's very much in that you are the wife. I am like, you follow my lead. And so she kind of just shoots him a look. And Henry is like not snapping, but you can see it just in his body language how disappointed he is. And it's one of those things where it's like, dude, like this is not the time for your bullshit. This is the time you comfort your kid.
Exactly. If you can't accept your kid being gay or bi or trans or, you know, whatever and such, you don't deserve to be a parent, because you don't get to choose who your kid is. Your kid gets to decide who they are. And yeah, I do want to highlight the performances, because like Nicole Kidman is fucking wonderful. Joel Edgerton is great. I really like, this is like some of the best emotional stuff Russell Crowe has really gotten to do. But yeah, Luke, and I love the brief appearance by Cherry Jones. Love that. And yes, I am a theater gay. How'd you guess?
Right.
But Lucas Hedges is the true STA star of this movie. He is phenomenal. And I know he got a Golden Globe nomination for this movie.
Yes.
Which I looked back, it's like, okay, well, who was he up against? Okay, that was that was pretty stacked. Nah.
Who were they against? I'm actually curious.
They were against Bradley Cooper in A Star Is Born, William Dafoe
Okay.
in At Eternity's Gate, John
Great movie.
David Washington in Black King and Black
Okay.
Klansman, and the winner Rami Malek for Bohemian Rhapsody.
Okay, so every other person should have won. You can debate the order. Big fan of yours, but Bohemian Rhapsody, give me a fucking break. But yeah, oh god, fucking Bohemian. Anyways, I'm not gonna go off on that rant.
I don't want to either.
Yeah. We'll just move past it. Couple other things I wanted to bring up. The amount of over analyzing, and I'll just tell y'all, and I said this during the Paris is Burning review / film review. People, you will be a lot happier in your life if you don't have to try to put a term on everything that you do. Like there's a point where they're even talking about how is this a manly shape I'm making or a girly feminine shape? And I'm like, I'm sitting there going, why is this even a conversation you're having? Ooh. Like why why are you? Yeah, it's like, why are you so obsessed with this shit? They even talk about how Flea's character is going like, what is a real man? What does a real man look like? And it's like, uncross your legs. Like they're talking about their posture for fuck's sake. It's like, y'all.
Because he's clearly like some ex-military, probably ex-marine, which also helps, inform like that John character who is just like, wow, your brain is so fucked. Like I can't
absolutely
do any contact. It's so fucked.
Yeah.
To think that anyone thinks teaching these lessons to children is okay in any fucking way.
Yeah, it's that in particular. It's just like, oh, okay, y'all. Like, can we get past this? Last thing I will bring up. It's such a simple thing, but there's this point where Nancy straight up asks Victor what his credentials are. And it really was one of those things where I went, why wasn't every parent doing this? You're going to leave your kid just somewhere. Like it really took me back to It's Always Sunny, Frank's Little Beauties episodes where I'm like,
oh god, yeah,
like it's like, like you basically you left your kids at a bar. Like, why would you? Like, you're not asking if they've ran a pageant or anything before. And even the gang brings it up, and I'm sitting there watching the movie, kind of that same mindset where I'm like,
I mean,
why are you not? Yeah, like why are you not?
Same thing in Sweet Home Alabama. Why the fuck you bring your kid to a bar? What the fuck?
Yeah, and it's the first time someone actually checks him on that. Like, what are your credentials? Are you a doctor? And he has nothing to say. And I went, oh my god, could you imagine how many of these kids would have been in much better standing if they just asked those two simple ass questions before they drop their kids off? Like,
where'd you get your medical license?
Yeah, like seriously, like
it's an easy fucking thing to ask. It takes like 2 seconds.
Yeah. But it really does show, I would say the grace, but I'd say the stupidity that some people just have, where it's just like, you need to ask these basic like you wouldn't drop your kid off of a random adult and be like, have you ever babysat before? But that's essentially like, I mean, that is kind of what they're doing here, except the babysitting is
the other cat, Lando.
Oh, all right. Hi, Lando. Getting the final thoughts here, and wrapping up. This is very much in that this would actually make a really good double feature with But I'm a Cheerleader. I'd probably watch But I'm a Cheerleader second, so you could actually have some laughs
to feel something again.
Yeah, because you don't want to end with this movie. This is not a movie
that movie.
I think that's streaming on Peacock if memory serves. So, but
Well,
But
I know Regal Cinema is going to be showing it as part of like their Pride lineup.
oh,
So
nice, hell yeah,
if you got a Regal Cinema near you, peep that. I know, like me and Lauren go the Central Arkansas Library System here. The main library located in our state capital, Little Rock, has like a theater, and they have like a slate of classic movies they show each month. And
love that.
last year and this year they are showing But I'm a Cheerleader, and going to see that last year in theaters was just awesome. Just dykes as far as the eye can see, and it's amazing. And like the only men I parsed that were there were either, cis gay men, or if you're a cis het guy here with your bi partner or just by yourself, get ready for that self-discovery.
Yeah, I will simply say, as we kind of wrap up here, there's a lot about this movie that's going to make you upset. But as I've often said on the podcast, just because you're watching something doesn't mean you always need to be comfortable. Like
Exactly.
some of y'all need to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. Whether that's addressing your own prejudices or just reading on things to learn more about yourself and how to be a better ally, how to be a better person, etc. There are some rough scenes in this movie. The bunk bed scene, as I mentioned, the funeral scene, as we talked about. There is a quiet disdain that Henry has for his son, that as a parent, like that from a
Marshall,
parent perspective. Thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, Henry's the rapist.
That's all right. That's right. Not Henry. Why does it have Henry? It has Russell Crowe listed as Henry on IMDb. That's
that's IMDb's fault.
Well,
that and it's questionable trivia.
Yeah, Google will be better, but I will say, there's these moments where you're gonna have to just sit, and you're gonna have to just kind of have that okay feeling. And and I would really recommend watching something funny after this. If you want to stay in the LGBTQ vibes, I'd recommend Bottoms or Booksmart. But this is one of those movies that's in that moonlight vibe, where it's like there are some rough scenes, but where you get to at the end, I think is incredibly beautiful, and I think it's incredibly profound. And yeah, if you're a hetero like yours truly, this is something you need to watch. There is also a documentary on Netflix called Prey, about conversion therapy camp, which I watched last year. I just ran out of time to review it, but it's another rough watch, but this would pair perfectly with this in terms of like, this isn't a one-off. This is something that does still happen. So, I mean, I was gonna say, like, I can't even say give a reason that's not a fan of Fucking-tastic. But I also didn't watch this the year it came out. I think I watched it the year after. Actually, I did watch it the year after. So I don't know if this would have cracked my top 10. I'd have to go back and look at my list.
I'm definitely going to do a retrospect on 2018 movies, because it's like, this is,
this is a stacked year.
I mean, I already still know what my favorite movie of that year is. Fucking Spider-Verse.
So I believe Spider-Verse was my second, because I think I had Moonlight at one, if memory serves. I think that was the same year, I want to say.
No, Moonlight was 2016.
Oh, you're right. Okay, so yeah, Spider-Verse would have been my...
the other Oscar that Mahershala Ali won for that year was Green Book.
Oh, that's right. I've shared my opinion on Green Book. I think some great performances, but
Driving Miss Daisy but reversed.
yeah, but the messaging at points is not great, and I'll leave it there. But yeah, this is a fan fucking tastic for me. Like I said, it's not pleasant. So
Yeah,
I would have something queued up ready to go that's more pleasant after this. So
I I mentioned this mainly just for the hysteria, because it's like this movie takes place in Arkansas, and I've lived in Arkansas my whole life. This is an Australian movie taking place in Arkansas that is also set in Memphis, actually filmed in Atlanta.
yeah, that's a lot.
Yeah, I only mention that out of the absurdity. This is a well-made movie, and to your point, like, yeah, like movies are supposed to make you feel everything. They are. It's why I love them so much. It's why I went to fucking film school. It's why I want to make that a career. And it's like, I don't quite remember what movie it was that made me feel profound sadness at first. Or, just, kind of bad, if you will. It's just, I just know that movies can make you feel lots of things, like, even without the trappings of its genre. I mean, hell, seeing Do the Right Thing at a pretty young age made me, and again, in combination with the Rodney King stuff, made me feel like, yeah, this system sucks. And it made me feel angry, happy, sad. R.I.P. Radio Raheem.
Yeah.
It just made, and watching this movie, it made me sad. It made me angry, but it also made me feel hopeful. It also made me feel joyful, and it also made me confront, like, all the repression that I had gone through. Because, like, one example I do remember of repressing came my senior year of film school. It was like I got selected to produce a short film in order to graduate. And several there were going to be 8 movies filming over 4 weeks, 2 at a time. And there was this one film which was a drag queen revenge B movie.
Nice.
Yeah, which, by the way, it was awesome. It was like, hey, so we could use some help, if you're free. And I thought, like, ooh, that'll be fun. I'll go be an extra, get dolled up, have my makeup done, and all that. But we got announced to be filming the same week as that movie. And I was like, damn, man, I was kind of looking forward to that. I'm a lot sadder about this than I thought. I should push that down for the time being and not think about that and worry about graduating. So I recount that in a humorous way. But like I said, I'm an open book. I have tried to take my own life over my feelings about myself and my identity. And what I learned was I'm not only a hard bitch to kill, because I've tried it myself. It's that shame is a hell of a drug. And I do say that, jokingly, like I mentioned, growing up Catholic in the South is a hell of a drug, but it also solemnly, seriously is, because it poisons you. It just takes over your whole view on things. And I knew I didn't want that. And maybe that's why I tried my attempts. But I also recognize it's like, I don't know if there's a future for me being who I am. And now I know that there is. And I answer any questions that anyone has like, oh, you're trans, and it's just like, look, I tell myself that, and I tell them, yes, I'm an open book, because a lot of people don't know shit about trans people.
Yeah.
So, and they learn. And by the way, I'll just give this one for free. Don't ask trans women if they've had the surgery. We will charge you $10 every time you goddamn do. Do you have Cash App, Venmo, Zelle? You fucking better. Is all I'm gonna goddamn say. And this movie was incredible. I loved it. And it's so incredibly acted, directed, scored, by the way. I love the music.
Yeah, the score is excellent. Yeah.
I love the music in this movie by Danny Bensi and Sonder Gerons. Just fantastic work. And yeah, and admittedly, part of it was that it did come out in early November 2018, so it did kind of get lost in that award shuffle for me.
Yeah.
Is kind of why I hadn't seen it until now. It's like I've known of it. And it's like, all right, okay, yeah. I'll get to it. I'll get to it. But but I'm glad I did it here. I'm glad we got to talk about it. And it is currently streaming on Netflix. So I do highly encourage anybody to just fucking watch this movie. Yes, it's going to be a hard watch.
It is.
But, some of the best movies are, tough to get through.
True. So yeah, y'all two fan-fucking-tastics for Boy Erased. We're gonna go ahead and get out of here because I realize it is almost 4:00 and I have not eaten today, so I'm going to go do that. I am starving.
Yeah, you probably should.
Getting a little lightheaded. Yeah, weed can only do so much. That's not true. You know I love you, babe. But in terms of what we have coming up for the rest of the month, I'm going on vacation starting next Wednesday. So I'll be gone for like a week. But before that, I will have a review for Heated Rivalry Season 1, because I have had multiple people yelling at me to watch that fucking show.
Yeah, even I haven't seen that yet.
I'm halfway through the season. I will have it finished by Sunday when my friend Liz comes on and talks about it. Our review for Femme is already up on the channel, as well as Paris is Burning. I'm going to watch Twinless, this intersex drug drama called Ponytail, which I rented, so I'm gonna check that out.
I'll have to check that out.
And then Birdcage. I have not watched Birdcage in a minute, and that's there's an anniversary of that coming up.
Yeah, Cal's shows that at the start of last month for its 30th anniversary, and me and Lauren were just right to it.
Yeah, I unfortunately had to work, so I missed a screening for it, but I'm gonna watch it at home. That's actually that's like Alea's favorite movie ever, so I'm actually really excited to watch that. But yeah, you also have those reviews coming up, and then I'm gonna try to watch maybe the original Supergirl 89 like 80 what was it, 87 film before I see Supergirl.
I get to introduce Lauren to that.
Really? Oh, they've never seen it? Okay.
No, she has not. And it's like, look, I'm gonna rewatch that. I'm gonna rewatch Superman ahead of it.
Yeah,
obviously, but it's just like, it's more like, look, we have to learn from our mistakes, and also I just really want to see how still batshit bonkers this movie is. And also, this is the first time I was seeing it since coming out.
Okay, fair. I haven't seen that since since like Blockbuster days. I know I saw it when I was like maybe like 17, 18, because superhero movie, sure, but I haven't seen it in years, so I genuinely don't remember a ton about it. So I'm
what you should expect with a Supergirl movie? Peter O'Toole sloshed.
Okay, well, all right, we'll see. Now I'm kind of sold, but Supergirl
I mean,
was
not
coming
in
out.
character. I mean,
I was gonna say, yeah, a little, yeah.
I've
But
seen Caligula.
I, I just, I haven't. Wait, I have seen Chloe. Yeah, I think I have. Pretty sure I have.
Okay, I was about to say you're wow.
Yeah, I know. I'm the same
You
thing about the
precious
show.
child.
Yeah, no, I know. But yeah, so we got those reviews coming out. I'll probably get a chance to see Toy Story 5 before I go on vacation, but I make no promises, but I'll probably have a review up for that as well. Oh God, what else? Yeah, I think that's everything.
Yeah. Next Tuesday, they're doing Terror Tuesdays throughout the summer.
Okay.
This Tuesday, I'm finally going to be able to see one of my personal favorites on the big screen, The Frighteners.
Oh, nice. Hell yeah. That's another one I'm seeing in a minute. Jordan, can you tell the people where they can find you, what you have coming up, anything before we get out of here?
Yeah, I used to review on oneofthose.net. I left that back in September. Adored my time there. You can listen to my old reviews there. I am on Blue Sky.
Nice.
I'm at jooko.bsky.social, where you can find my random ramblings about nerdom and my full unfiltered thoughts about 007 First Light.
Still need to play it. I'm not getting until Black Friday. I'm being good.
That's
I'm
fair,
waiting.
and I will just say this: it's the best Bond game ever.
Okay.
Yeah.
Everyone I've talked to has had nothing really but praise. But if I buy a game before Black Friday, my reviews will go down and I won't watch anything. So I'm actively avoiding.
That is fair.
Yeah.
It's like every time I was working at my job, I'm just like, I shouldn't fucking be here. I should be saving the fucking world right now and listen to that awesome Lana Del Rey song again. Fucking shit.
Yeah. Pick better partners, Lana. You know, come to the West Coast.
Yeah.
But I mean, shoot my shot. But I will be breaking that for Wolverine because Wolverine's in September, and I will be. That's the one exception. But yeah, y'all. You still got like just under 2 weeks for Pride. So to my cis people, educate yourselves. Watch some gay cinema. I've already shouted out Femme. Please watch Femme. Femme is amazing. You need to watch Femme.
You know what? Queer films, I'll shout out because you have. Oh, by the way, I do also want to say, I am also currently right now on the selection committee for the Real Queer Film Festival.
Oh hell yeah!
The feature film selection, meaning I've been watching a lot of gay movies this year to help select the feature films that we will show at the Real Queer Film Festival. I believe our passes go on sale soon.
Okay.
But it'll be taking place in Little Rock, Arkansas. And I'm trying to bring up the dates right now. It'll be happening at the Ron Robinson Theater, the same place where all those movies me and Lauren go see take place. It'll take place August 27th to the 30th. So, yeah. And queer films I'll shout out. We mentioned Bottoms and But I'm a Cheerleader. My top 2 movies of 2024: The People's Joker and Love Lies Bleeding.
Still need to watch
People's
Joker.
Joker. I saw the TV Glow.
I still need to watch that.
You are one of the few cis people whose opinion I give a shit about on queer stuff.
It's frustrating because I got sent a screener for it and I just ran out of time. I just didn't get a chance.
That's fair. Bound.
Bound is fantastic. Yeah.
Anything. My First Criterion. Shock. Anything's Possible.
Screener. Josh saying screeners are wasted on Hunter. Talk to me when you get screeners. All right, then you can have an opinion on how screeners are wasted on.
Okay,
me.
am I going to watch Girls Like Girls? Yes, I will. I don't know if I'm going to be able to see it in theaters. I am excited about that. I do like Haley Cuoco. I will watch it. I will see it. I don't know. I think it might be when it comes to streaming, but I will see it at some point. And I would feel less like a lesbian if I didn't say Carol, the best lesbian Christmas movie.
Carol was on the initial list, but I am gonna save that for Christmas because that was like my.
You better fucking have me on for that.
I will have you on for Carol, but that was like my deciding. I was like, okay. Josh is asking real quick before we get. Are you gonna see Leviticus?
Yeah, I'll see that too. Actually, I almost saw that for the festival, but we weren't able to obtain it.
Fair. I'm gonna try to. That's I can't remember if that's A24 or Neon. I think that's Neon.
I believe it's Neon.
And speaking of my screeners, fuck you, Josh. I get the Neon and A24 box set each Oscar season, so I will probably I might see Leviticus in theaters, but
yeah, Leviticus is Neon.
Okay, there we go. But that's why I didn't see Backrooms, because I was like, I know A24, I know I'll get that, and I heard enough mixed stuff that I was like, I can wait on this. So yeah, but happy for success, yada yada yada. But all right, y'all, we're gonna get out of here. Jordan, thank you so much for being on. I promise I'll have you on for Carol. I'll let Josh get his last shot in. Hunter will see Backrooms in 2037. At the latest, I'll see it 2027. Almost said Josh. I did almost say Josh, but yeah, you're the worst. You're not even. You know what? I'm not even going to say the comment I was gonna make. I'm gonna be good.
Oh, in your head, like Wemby was into Knicks's head.
Yeah, right. Yeah. There you go. But all right, y'all. We're getting out of here.
I'm a sports gay.
That's a perfect place to end it. Jordan, I love you. Thanks for coming on. Josh, you suck.
You too, man.
Have a good one, y'all. Happy Pride. We'll talk to you soon. Cheers.
Be gay.